Hello and welcome to Single and Complete. This is the day the Lord has made, and we shall rejoice and be glad in it. I hope you're well and you're doing great. I can't believe the year is going to an end. Wow. My prayer is that God will keep all of us. Today I want to talk about friendship. And I have a question for you, my sisters and my friends. And my question is, do you have a friend? And if you do, who is your friend? I know that as human beings, we were not created to be alone. And that is why God created Eve for Adam. As single parents and as a single person, one of my greatest challenge after my husband left was how to move on with my life alone. My sisters, as a single mother and as a single person, how do you hope to move on with your life? God created us not to be alone. And I know, having spoken to so many single parents, single person, some desire to get married. As a single person, some single parents desire to settle down again and to enjoy marriage. And there's nothing wrong in that. If God wants us to be alone, He wouldn't created Eve for Adam. He wants us to have a good and healthy relationship. I've spoken to so many single parents and single person, as I said, and the feedback I got from the many I've spoken to are quite different. Everybody have different desire. For some, they have desire to see their children thrive, do well. Some have the desire to marry and enjoy marriage again. Some just desire to have somebody who is just there to rub their shoulders and for intimacy. God created the desire for intimacy. He created it. And there's nothing wrong in that. But where we get it wrong is where we get ourselves into a relationship that leaves us battered instead of building us. I've spoken to so many ladies whose heart has been broken again and again because they chose to have a wrong friend. I ask you again, my sisters and my friends, do you have a friend? And if you do, who is your friend? You know, after my husband left, I found a friend. I remember walking down my street at my lowest point, in the midst of my thoughts of aloneness, despair, darkness. I found this man. I'm sure you'll be surprised. I found this man walking down my street. He stopped me and he began to speak to me. And, you know, being a single parent, a single person, we're vulnerable. Very, very, very vulnerable. But for some reason, I was drawn to this man. He actually swept me off my feet. He took me to his house and we got talking. I got to know him. He entertained me. He welcomed me into his home. And he even encouraged me to bring my children to his house. My children got to know him. He became their friends. This friend, this man, he stands out because he's always available. He's faithful. He's honest. Sometimes when I mess up, he tells me off. He rejoices with me when things are going well for me. When I'm alone, sometimes he will put his arms around me. And he will smile and say to me, you know what? I'm here for you. He did not prey on my vulnerability. He never, ever preyed on my vulnerability. Sometimes I have cried and cried and cried, and it seems as though I haven't got no more waters coming down from my eyes. My friend will put his arms around me and say to me, Olayinka, you know what? I'm here for you. I'm here for you. Some nights, when I'm alone and long for my husband's love and reassurance, I'll call my friend and he will encourage me and comfort me. Sometimes he will say to me, it's only the night time. It will soon be day. And I believe him. But what he does sometimes that really, really gets me angry is that he's quiet. This man will be quiet. He wouldn't say nothing. And I will talk. I will moan. I will complain. I will even blame him for abandoning me. But he would often laugh and say to me, I just want you to express yourself. He guides me. He points me in the right direction. He helps me along the way. And sometimes he will stand his ground and say, listen, I'm going to fight this through with you. He's never turned his back on me since I met him. Sometimes when I feel like walking away, he pulls me back and wrapped his arms around me. He reassures me of his love every time. This man stood with me through thick and thin. As my children grow up, because my husband left when they were very, very young, as they grew up and the challenges began to increase, this man taught me. He gave me words of wisdom. What type of friend do you have? As you've heard me talk about my friend, the man I found on my way home in my darkest moments, he did not prey on my vulnerability. One of the things I've heard my friends talk about most of the time is the friend they allowed in their lives that has preyed on their vulnerability, that's used them and dumped them again. My friend, if anything at all, helped in mending my broken heart. He helped me in mending my broken heart. He gives me joy every day. I call him and he's there. He answers me. My friends, my sisters, this man is the man of Galilee. I'm sure some of you may be thinking now that, Olayinka, you're mad, you're crazy, you don't even know what you're talking about. My sisters, my friends, my heart was once broken just like yours. But I met a man of Galilee. His name is Jesus. He became my first love from the day I met him. You know, the other day I was thinking about this episode, and I believe I was taken back to my wedding Thanksgiving day. And I remember the words I spoke that day. I had a desire in my heart, and I shared it as I gave thanks on that day. I remember citing from, I believe it's Psalm 24. I can't fully remember now, but I know the words off by heart. I said before God's people and before God on that, my wedding day, Thanksgiving, I said, one thing have I desired, and that I will seek after, to behold the beauty of the Lord and to inquire in his temple. And I beheld that man of Galilee as he met with me again. I knew him before I got married. But after I got married, my attention was distracted away from him. My focus became my husband and my children. Not to say I wasn't talking to him. I talk to him every now and then. But my relationship that I have, the relationship that I have with him now, is closer than the relationship I had with him when my husband was around me and my children. I still have my children by the grace of God, and I'm thankful to that, to God for that. But this man of Galilee, Jesus Christ, the Son of the living God, became my first love. I gave my hands to him, and I asked him to lead me. I've never ever had to regret giving my hands to him. My friends, my sisters, who do you give your hand to? Who is leading you in this journey? Who is there for you to pour your heart to and won't judge you? For some ladies, the man they gave themselves to will look at them and say to them, I'm only doing you a favor. My friend never did that to me. He embraced me. He loved me for who I am and still loves me. My sisters and my friends, I have introduced my friend to you. His name is Jesus. Give him your hands. Give him your hand and let him lead you to your Prince Charming. If you so desire to marry, I have no doubt that if you give him your hand, he will lead you to that man that will heal your wounded heart, that will mend your broken life. I met Jesus. He mended my broken heart. My heart that I thought was torn into pieces that can never be mended again. He did that for me. He can do the same for you. Give him your hand. Let him hold you. Let him lead you to that man that he has ordained for you, That man that he has set aside to look after you, to take care of you, to mend your heart, to walk with you, to stand with you, to support you, to back you up. Give him your hand as I gave him mine. I gave my hand to him over 20 years ago, and the rest is history. My sisters, my friends, I introduce Jesus to you once again. Give him your heart. Give him your hand. Hand your life over to him, and you will never regret. He's there to mend it. He'll be there to heal you. He'll be there to walk alongside you, to guide you in the right direction. Why don't you give your heart to him today? I introduce him to you, my dear friend, Jesus Christ, the Son of God. The world today is preparing for Christmas, remembering the birth of Jesus Christ. Why don't you embrace him and make him the Lord of your life? If you need a friend, reach out to Jesus. His hand is out, waiting to hold yours. My sisters, that's my message for you today. That's been my experience, my genuine experience. For those who know me, for those who don't know me, I'm telling you the story of my life. The joy that I have is in Jesus. And I pray and hope that you embrace him and let him give you that joy that you so desire. My sister, my friends, the Lord bless you. May he keep you. May he make his face to shine upon you and be gracious to you. May he lift up the light of his countenance upon you and give you peace. I speak to your life, my sisters, that your sun will shine again as you give your heart to Jesus. Why don't you follow me on Instagram, Single and Complete, my YouTube channel, Single and Complete, or you can drop me an email, singleandcomplete@outlook.com. Let us have a chat together. Feel free to ask me questions and I'll respond to you. I wish you all the best. God bless you and have a wonderful week. See you in a couple of weeks. God bless.